in the long run, hurt you, doesn't hurt you. So it's not basically saying, it's just do or die, do or die, do or die. So when that happens, what does that tell you? Like, and I don't want to be the guy who says it, but like, bro, it's one of those things, and you've built something great. Like we were damn near like a college team. We're damn near like a college team. So it's one of those moves again with Chris.
And that was a tough move to make, and I get it, but
the same. It's a tough move to make with you. It's a tough move to make with Chris. It's a tough move to make. And what does that tell you? Like, you know, they're making moves. Don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to tell you, like, if you guys just really like zoom out and just think, it's like, wow, we're not taking our time with it, like, and it shows from the fans, not just the players. You know, it's not just Giannis saying it, it's the fans. You've seen it from the fans, like, so agitated and so worried, like they couldn't even have patience with Bobby. Like, I'm like, bro, like, this man is like having a, like, he's just like this, you know what I'm saying? He's here, he's going like this, and now, you know, hooping towards the last, and, you know, this happened. But, like, which I think, you know, we'll get into this after, but.
We'll talk about Bobby. I think, real quick, from a fan perspective on Bobby, I could not stand people who are like, you got to trade him. You got to get him off the team. He's hurting the team here. Bro,
this is to me, it's I don't know what to say. Like, bro, you just don't watch basketball then.
You either don't, and you don't understand. Do you know how expensive 6 men are in the NBA right now? Like, to get one that contributes. Bobby contributed defensively, offensively, and on the glass, like a monster on the glass. He's your backup big. He's on a 4-year, $48 million contract. Do people understand? If the Bucks were to trade his $12 million contract, they would have got back me. Like, that's like, like, I'm sorry, but his contributions before everything happened, I'm telling you, like, people needed to recognize that. Everyone at the trade deadline was like, got to get rid of number 9. There were people on Twitter that follow our show that were too scared to type his name into Twitter because they know it would get a reaction. So they'd be like, number 9 on the Bucks needs to get traded. Like, say it with chest. If you're going to say it, say it.
Obviously, I get to understand why, like, people, you know, sometimes they want to, they think, like, we need to change, you need this, that, but I'm like, you're talking about the wrong person. I'm telling you, like, it's one of those things, you know, some person might be just unlucky and going through some stuff, but he's a hooper, he's a bowler, and now going back to now what just happened, but I don't know. I want to talk about it more, but I just don't know. I got to talk with him on the phone first before I say anything, you know?
I think this is one of those, this situation where he put out, his agency put out a statement. He released a statement through the Bucks in the initial press release about the, you know, the mix-up that happened. Oh. And it sounded like when Doc Rivers spoke before the Bucks played the Clippers that this happened a while ago and they had been going through a little bit of like the appeals process.
So you can only imagine, like, they were trying to just help the situation because they knew, like, it was just honest mistake made probably, and they was just trying to help the situation. But
on the, I guess, bright side, if there's a bright side, he's back before the playoffs.
Yeah, that's
he made.
I'll take that.
And I think people need to remember, like, Bobby didn't commit a crime. He didn't do anything that harmed anyone. Let's not vilify this. Like,
it was also crazy. Nobody said something negative about this. Everybody was kind of like, "Yo, this is so unfortunate. How did this happen?" And when it really came out how it happened, everybody's like, "What? Just because of that? Just like, is it 25 games?"
Mm-hmm.
So, because again, I get the, you know, but nowadays everybody, you know, they're trying to, you know, take care of the bodies, or anybody would, you know, take anything. Mm-hmm. But, like, it wasn't an enhancement. It was like, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't make you, like, not do nothing. So it was just a weird situation, man.
Yeah, it doesn't enhance. And if anything, if you just, like, Google what the two things are, I'm not trying to play doctor by any means, but the one that's approved by the league that also starts with a T is actually a higher grade painkiller than the one he took, which is a much lower grade painkiller, which was only banned last spring for whatever reason. I don't know. It just seems, I would say it seems unbelievably harsh, especially compared to some other penalties that the NBA has dished out over the years.
What I would say is that they know what they're doing. We're not going to interfere with what the league does. They know that, in their opinion, that's what was right in their eyes, and we got to respect it as much as you can.
Yeah, leave it at that. But I jokingly sent a text out yesterday that just said, sounds like Bobby's going to be 100% healthy for the playoffs. I think the Bucks have, 30 games left or something after the All-Star break, 31 maybe. So he'll be back before the end of the regular season. And then it sounds like he's able to practice and be at the team facility. And there's some other things.
This is what I was talking about. Like, I don't want to say more if I don't, I'll get on the phone.
Oh,
see what the situation is.
Yeah, that was just from what Doc Rivers said.
Okay.
Breaking down. So we can leave it at that. But yeah, that Doc Rivers said there are some other rules that they got to go through. But yeah. So yeah, we can move on from anything else on the Giannis and Shams and comments.
I think, just Giannis saying what he feels. That's how he felt at the moment. That's what he said, And Shams saying like, "Hey, the reality is like, bro, I know you guys. None of them lied. Like I said, none of them lied."
I think that's a very fair. Sometimes I think that's a very fair statement. Like no one lied. I don't think it's the greatest thing to say on television. If you're Shams in that moment.
Let me tell you what happens now, and people do not want to accept this. It's not always black and white. What happened to gray? Sure. What happened to the middle? Like, hey, sure, someone in the middle, and it's business. It's nothing crazy, but
100% business. Yeah. I think we all need to be more in the gray area. It doesn't have to be one over here. But we can meet in the middle for a lot of things. But moving on from that, I just think it's all super interesting and just the way it's so polarizing, right? Because anytime anyone says anything about Giannis on national TV, Bucks fans freak out, which I kind of respect.
And I get why they freak out because, is anytime we mention is never like, oh, the Bucks are looking like contenders. Oh, the Bucks. No, it's always like, wow, this guy's going there. Oh, everybody wants this guy. Everybody wants it's never, it's always the take. It's always the take. I feel like.
I will say shout out Kendrick Perkins because for the first time ever, I heard him say something positive about the Bucks on TV a couple weeks ago.
He said positive stuff.
Has he? Okay.
Sometimes.
And you know what? He keeps it real. He gives his opinion. That's what he's paid to do. I can respect it.
That's what he believes. That's my thing with
for sure.
Kendrick Perkins. The only problem I have with him, I would say, is that I want you to. I would love for you to kind of deep dive a little bit more. I don't think he's so deep into really learning about some teams in the NBA, right? Not just the Bucks, some teams in the NBA. I just feel like, he just goes with it, right? I don't feel like he doesn't lean as much as he leans for the Celtics. Because with the Celtics, he leans more and he knows what's a little bit more what's going on. But that's my opinion. That doesn't mean it's true, but that's my opinion.
And that's almost every person who's on television, right? You're around teams more. You live in certain cities. You have different connections here and there. I will say Kendrick Perkins, when I was fresh out of college, I was covering the Cavaliers. And Kendrick Perkins, he joined their team for one of their playoff runs. And I just went up to him once. I was like, look, when you were in Boston, you had to play against LeBron in the playoffs. How do you game plan for him? And he looked me square in the face. He's like, is your microphone recording? I was like, oh, yeah. He goes, there's not a damn thing you can do about it. You can prepare all day. And I took that quote, wrote a story, and then all of a sudden the next morning it was on the cover of ESPN.com, and I was like, thank you, Kendrick Perkins. That's my guy now.
But I think he's always known that he has this talent for kind of being an analyst and the way he has his own way of doing stuff. So, yeah.